I will not be talking about Green Bay because I would rather shit in my hands and clap. So, I'm going to go with my pick for the Philly Pats game. Hello and welcome to Tastes Like Prohibition, the podcast for sports fans, where we serve everything with a stiff drink. Zero apologies. I'm your host, Lauren Sloan.
Hi, I'm Janae. Thanks for tuning in, you guys. We have a great show. We are going to talk about the Olympic FOMO, the best, worst, and the what the fuck. We'll get into it, kind of break down what we were watching, had fun viewing, and just all of the memes. All of the memes.
A lot of stuff.
We also had a fun time watching the USA-France gold medal basketball game. We went to Barney's Beanery, which is a classic place in LA, to watch games, so we'll get to see a little bit about that. And we're also going to get the first look at the Bears Hard Knocks. I had such a fun time watching that episode.
You know I did.
It was so good. We'll also talk about everything that happened in the first week of the NFL preseason. I'm excited. Football is back, baby, and we are going to get into all of that. But first, we want to find out what's in the cup because it looks delicious today.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
Amazing.
All right. You tell me a little bit about the drink and what's in there.
Well, this is our Taste Like Prohibition take on an espresso martini. We got a little bit of vodka. We've got our beautiful espresso blend. We've got a delicious homemade maple whip float on top with a delicious presentation with a little cinnamon drizzle on top. We are definitely dedicating this to the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, they were the inspo this week.
You know, you guys were big shit in the playoffs, but 33-6. Ouch.
Yeah. So
we'll wake up.
You get a poop color drink. Sorry about it, but it's delicious. And it's got a shot of energy, which I think the team needs right now.
Absolutely.
They need to kick it into high gear. You need this espresso as much as we're going to need it continuing to watch your preseason. So, cheers to the Buffalo Bills.
Cheers.
Clink. Goddamn. It's actually pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
All
right, so we have a new segment we'd like to introduce called Best, Worst, What the Fuck, and we're here to introduce our producer, Sage, to help us. Sage, welcome to the show! Starting with the best, we have USA, top of the gold medal rankings. So USA.
I don't think I've ever been so patriotic in my life. I'm not going to lie.
I have just been, it was like a shot of patriotism. It was like waking up in the morning, watching all of this amazing stuff happen. I was staying up until 4 o'clock in the morning. I was waking up at 5 to watch the track.
I was watching replays of events I saw earlier in the day. Same. I just wanted to live in it again.
Same.
It was it's too good.
Sage, what's your best?
The rugby third place win for the women's team, you know.
Now that we have gotten into the best, we got to swing that pendulum back around because there were some of the worst things that I've seen, but it was the Aussie breakdancing.
I felt like it was a joke, and it was a joke. I felt like it was a joke, but I felt like I have gotten so many submission videos in my life. Mm-hmm. That were better than that I thought were terrible.
The other thing I'm hearing is that she's an academic that studied culture of movement. So we get into this thing that I call, we're familiar with caucasity, but this is something that's called academic confidence.
Oh.
And it's the thing where they feel that they've studied and read enough that they now have become enough of a proficient expert
to be able to execute
confidence, academic confidence. We are seeing that right there.
I want to know who her friends are, who have seen her do this, has seen breakdancing on TV, in the media, on TikTok, and was like, yeah, girl, you go to the her that it was okay. It's like, I don't know. I don't know. Whenever I see somebody who's like way more confident than they should be, I feel like I start to try like overly evaluate myself. Like, oh my God, is there something about me that I'm super confident about that no one is telling me that I'm just dead wrong? Like, I hope my friends are better than that. I hope my family is better than that.
We're moving from worse to what the fucks.
Yeah.
Artistic swimming.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
That was absolutely wild. That's probably one of the most impressive displays of athleticism I've seen throughout the entire Olympics.
And the production value for this was off the charts. Yeah. That added a crazy level of what the fuck.
Yeah.
But let's talk about kind of our weekend. It didn't shake out how we thought it was going to shake out. We were expecting to watch the Chicago preseason game, the first one, because we watched the first one last year, and that's how we got started. But unfortunately, there were other things that the universe had in store for us.
Right.
But we did end up enjoying the USA-France game at Barney's Beanery, and I actually got to go to the Rams-Cowboys game. It was my first Cowboys game ever. It was amazing. I saw Tom Brady with my own eyes. You're going to see it. Maybe. I kind of didn't get him because I was freaking out. But he was there. I swear to God, I saw him over there. So let's get into our NFL review. We are going to go over the games of note that we thought were interesting, that we want to talk about, break down a little bit, dissect. We're going to do 2 this week, and I know what mine's going to be, but let's start off with you and the game that we were supposed to set out and see, but we did still end up watching.
We did.
So let's walk through the Bears game.
Yes, it was an absolutely fantastic showing for the Bears.
I agree.
Preseason is usually, we write it off, but there is a lot of action, a lot of excitement going with the city. Caleb Williams is an amazing force out there on the field. Yeah. It was great to actually see him get the snaps in. He looks good. He was making amazing plays. Defense was doing their job. They were able to hold Buffalo to 6 points. Final score 33-6. I'm so excited for this season, especially I know people are going to make the excuse, oh, well, they didn't have a lot of their start. But still, Buffalo should have showed up, and they didn't show up.
I'm saying.
And we're talking about this is a team that made it pretty far into the postseason.
Right.
Where were they at?
Yeah.
Where they at, though?
Everybody's just going to shake off the first preseason game.
Don't write it off.
Whatever it is. You know what? I'm not going to have any excuses for anybody. No. For anybody this week. But in that particular game, Chicago looked really strong. They have a lot of talk that's happening right now. So, and a lot of eyes on them. Also, they're in Hard Knocks, so we're following along very closely on that. And I think that they did not disappoint. The first showing was really, really strong, that people should have a lot of hope and a lot of things to get behind. However, I would like to say that y'all are putting too much pressure on this little boy. And I don't want to call him a little boy, like, not in a disrespectful way at all. But there were times, actually, when I was watching Hard Knocks, and you can see the young man.
Yes.
And you could see him taking everything in, and it was so wonderful, like, to see him going through all of this. But, yo, just let him. Alright, so he's doing some stuff. But I know, like, even before he made it out on the field, you were like, yo, you better not. And you better not. And I'm like, that's a lot of pressure to put on somebody. But I think he handled it very well.
He did.
He showed up and did not, fumble the bag.
It's a ton of pressure to put on him. I agree. It's a lot. But we haven't had a franchise quarterback since I was born.
Yeah, he knows where
it's a lot at stake. It's a lot at stake. So it's just really important. He knows how much this team means to the city. He knows what's at stake, but he is mentally prepared. The team understands that there's a lot of responsibility, and it's great to see them step up and support him, not just, quarterback to players, but on a friend level, having that camaraderie. It's really good to see that there's not an ego, oh, well, he's number one.
Right.
They understand that they've really got a weapon that they can utilize this season.
Yeah.
And I think that that's really important for the entire team unit to really support him and rally around. Because, again, it's not just one quarterback. And I know,
of course.
That's always been the focus for the city, but it's great to have that unity. You could see the city is unified behind it.
Mm-hmm.
We're so hyped to see him. We're so hyped to have him here. And GM Ryan Poles is definitely playing Moneyball. We're at a point where they're making the deals, they're making the moves, they're putting the right players in position to really make these things happen. So as a fan, a lifelong Chicago Bears fan, so stoked for this. This is such an exciting thing.
Let's talk about the other game.
SoFi.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
I love going to SoFi. This is my, I don't know, third or fourth time seeing a game there since I've lived in LA. Always a fun time. I always say it's like a club in there. Like it's a huge club. There's a DJ that he has his little section going on. There's always music blasting when you're going in. Yeah. It's a fun time. For my particular game, I went to go see the Cowboys play the LA Rams. My little story about how this happened, and this is going to sound like a plug, and it's absolutely not sponsored at all, but I got my tickets through TickPick, and for certain games, they have like VIP add-ons that you can put onto your ticket. I'm not exactly sure how it works or how the pricing works, because the prices were going up and down. I had to look at it for a bit. Side note, the ones that I bought for $88 were actually on sale for $37 the next day. $37 the next day. So there's got to be, I think when I looked into it, there's like a price
thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is fine.
Okay.
But I did find these tickets that, gonna be real, the seats were shit. They were 500 level, all the way at the top. I was roasting. Like, I felt like I was in a greenhouse. I was roasting. I was sweating. I walked up and I was like, there's no fucking way I'm going to get concessions or anything. Like, I need somebody to bring me a beer and a churro stat. And there wasn't a lot of people going up there. So fine. Despite that, I was able to get a add-on on the ticket, the really shit ticket that I got. So, couple of things about this add-on. First of all, you go through a VIP entrance. Like the Google One VIP entrance.
Nice.
Even though the seats were terrible, we still got to go through, like, it wasn't crowded. There was a bar over there that wasn't crowded, so we got to hit that up. And they're like, oh, welcome to VIP. And I was like, oh, really? Like, I didn't know if we were in the right place. But I assumed because we had that add-on that we got to go through that. So that's one perk.
Okay, yeah.
Got to see the game, whatever. Then at the 2-minute warning, you're supposed to go check into a tent. So we went to go check in. We got this wristband that I'm just not taking this off for a while. And then we stayed there. So I had to stand there surrounded by Rams fans because it is an LA Rams fan experience package. So they do bar you from wearing the other team's gear on the field when you go on the field. So I could not wear my Micah Parsons jersey that I wore to the game. However, I did pick up the game day t-shirt, which was Born and Raised. It had a limited one, so I got one of those and I was like, all right, I can represent. They're not going to make me take it off, whatever. So I watched the last 2 minutes of the game surrounded by Rams fans. They were going fucking insane. Yeah. And I'm sitting there just, like, eating the inside of my cheek. Like, eating the inside of my cheek. Like, this is great, but if I'm, like, an overt Cowboys fan, they might not let me on the field. Yeah. So, like, just shut up about it. Got down on the field. Everybody was nice. The guy who let us down there, he was so cool. The people who were checking us in at the tent, like, everybody throughout this whole experience was, like, top-notch. So SoFi, great points on that. Getting down into the belly of the beast was great. Getting to see how big everything we walked past, the media trucks, and everything was buzzing. And I'm videoed, like, I'm selfieing me walking through and just kind of having my reactions. This is my first time doing it. And there's a whole rest of the group behind me, and then there's like corporate people behind me. But I was like literally the first person down there. I was talking to the person who like walked us in. It was me. I was the first person.
Yeah.
So everyone stopped after we went past the media trucks, and they're just like lined up very nicely against the wall. And I'm walking because I'm like walking past something, and I'm videoing myself, and then I look at this group of people, and Tom Brady is standing right there.
Tom Brady? That's Tom Brady. Holy shit. Holy fuck.
We're going here. We're going here.
And then it's like, it's chaos, and I have it. Like, I just, you can see me falling apart, literally, after seeing him, and then just, like, setting eyes on him, and it's wild, like, everything that they say is true. I feel like Dawn Staley said something recently that was like, don't look him in the face, because he's beautiful, and, like, you will actually, it's like Medusa, like, don't look him in the face. And I did, and it was wild, and then it was like, outside of that, you're gorgeous, but you're Tom Brady. And then it was like rage, because it's like, holy shit, it's Tom Brady. And then it was like, oh, because I was like, oh my God, it's Tom Brady. There was a range of emotions. You can see me literally spiral in this video. And
the emotion.
I'm so happy that, like, I do look like a mess, but whatever. I'm putting it on the internet. Yeah. Everybody can see it. I just kept saying, holy shit, holy fuck, that's Tom Brady. Directly after that, we got to get onto the field, which was wonderful. You can take pictures on the 50-yard line.
Oh, shit.
I was running out there. People were running 40s. Little kids were out there doing it. So people brought footballs. I would definitely say buy a football at the pro shop and bring it down there, because they don't have footballs on the field.
Of course.
And I just wanted to catch a pass. And then I was like, hey, guys, can you throw me a... Whatever, just bring your own ball if you go. But the cool thing about the experience is the teams are leaving the field right after this post game. You know, they go to the showers, they do whatever, and then they come back off. So the visiting team, which is the team that I went to go see, is coming off of the field at the same time I'm having my post field experience.
Yeah.
So this is another little tip. If you're going to SoFi and you're going to see a team that you like that's visiting, this is a great way to get up close and personal with the athletes. I know it's preseason. There were some people that I did not recognize, but there were a lot of people that I did recognize. I saw Trayvon Diggs. I spoke to Zeke Elliott, and Zeke Elliott heard me and then responded to me, and his response was nothing that I said. Like I said, great game, like, we're going to have a great season, and then he said, I don't know where I'm going. And I was like, over there to the left. Like, just stay to the left and then go out there. But it was crazy. I saw Dak's baby. Yeah. Dak's little baby was there. He was so tiny with a big head. It was so cool. So, I mean, the whole experience was something, I kept an open mind. I didn't know exactly what was going to happen, but turned out to be a really, really cool thing, especially if you are in LA, you like a visiting team, they're coming to play the Rams, maybe in the preseason, because that was really cool too. Yeah. I'm sure that they have this throughout the season, but do that. And icing on the cake is that when you leave, you can stay out there. We pretty much saw everybody, and then we're like, all right, let's wrap this shit up, right?
Right.
So you leave through the same VIP entrance that they let you in, which is also the visiting team's friends and family exit.
Shut up.
So every family member and player on the Cowboys left and came up the same escalator I did, came out the same door. I was waiting there. I'm like trying to figure out an Uber, and then I see some other players come out, and then I see a coach come out. I'm like, oh, they're just all coming out this door. I'm just gonna like sit here and take in the view, and nobody, like, I had my wristband on. I was supposed to be there. So all in all, 10 out of 10, man. I love this. It was really not that much. Full transparency, I paid $88 for a ticket. My ticket was in like $546 something, like all the way in the rafters. You go down at the 2-minute mark. You go onto the field. We spent like an hour and a half out there just running around on the field. Do it. TickPicks.
Yeah.
They don't have it for every game, but they do have it when it's
Different
available,
packages,
check it out. Could not recommend it enough.
That sounds amazing.
So that's what happened last week. There's also another thing that happened last week.
Yeah.
It was the first episode of the Chicago Bears North Nights.
Training camp. Nice harmony.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, cool.
All right.
I know this is you. This is your world.
Yes.
I want you to kick it off. But I just want to say I had a great time watching the episode.
It was an absolute
phenomenal episode of television.
fantastic episode.
Yeah.
Narrated as always by Liev Schreiber. But I have to say, I am so glad they're doing a Hard Knocks in Chicago. My city looks beautiful.
It did.
Summertime shy.
It did.
There's nothing like it.
Yeah.
Let's start with the opening. Matt Eberflus's boat party.
Yeah,
That looked a lot of fun. Also, whose coach is that? Coming out swaggy in the cream? Hey. He was like, my wife sent me a picture of a Ryan Reynolds haircut.
Yeah. Yeah, she done good.
And the facial hair.
She done good.
Yes. It's proof that beards
I love
make
that
everybody
transition
much
they
more.
showed. Because when I saw that guy, I was like, oh, cool, we got another coach.
Yeah.
Cool, like,
no,
this guy.
same guy, new look.
Same guy.
Same guy, new look.
Good for you, dude.
Absolutely.
That's a motherfucking glow up.
His wife is the winner on that one. And for any man to say, if my wife likes
Cheers.
it, I like it.
Cheers. You like it? I love it.
Absolutely. But it was also
Yeah.
great to find out a little bit more about him.
Right.
I did not know that he's a Nick Saban boy.
Yeah.
I had absolutely no clue
Mhm.
During Saban's run in Toledo. But it was so cute to see him come in for the meeting.
Yeah.
And he's sitting down with his notebook. I'm
Right.
like, oh, that's old school. You're back taking notes from
Oh,
your
yeah.
coach. But the information that Saban was giving him about getting into Caleb's perspective,
Mhm.
what are you seeing?
Stand
How are
behind
you
him.
reading it? Stand behind him. That
Mhm.
was a really great thing
And
to
then you
see.
saw him doing it,
Actually
though.
doing it. You actually saw him do it, which was fantastic.
That was so cute.
And it was just great advice from Nick Saban about
Yeah.
supporting everybody around
Mhm.
Caleb as well. Because,
Totally.
Rising Tide lifts all boats, and you can't just focus on the QB, the QB, the QB.
Right.
But it was just absolutely great to see that level of support and him actually wanting to create that good quarterback-coach relationship. Because think about it, you got your Belichicks, you got
Yeah.
your Tom Brady's,
Yeah.
you have those relationships with the coach and the quarterback that, are vital. And it's great to actually see that building. And it seems like, they are building
Yeah.
quite a rapport.
He's got a lot that he needs to, do right now coming into it. But it was nice to see the support from the teammates, even when they do their little, they talk about their signing bonus
bonuses.
and
Yeah.
then their little karaoke moment, which I don't know
Yes.
why he didn't sing the John Legend song. He was supposed to sing
blew
it.
He got the lyrics wrong. He started with the second verse first.
Going to work on that.
No. you gotta-
That was really, really fun. However, my favorite part was hearing kind of the reporters and the feedback of what was expected out of Caleb Williams and having someone say he could have a possible impact on Chicago like Michael Jordan, and then you just hear the fucking music.
Yeah, serious Alan Parsons project. And then when I saw you that opening drone note, I immediately got chills. And I was back to sitting in the 200 level of the United Center.
That was a great TV moment. Now we are going to talk about predictions. I call it my trifecta, the 3-pick. If I was horse betting, $3 trifecta box. This is my my picks for that. So we're going to start off with the Thursday night game, I believe, which is going to be the Eagles playing the Patriots, and I'm just not gonna pick the Eagles to win, but they're probably going to win. But when that graphic comes up underneath and then it's got to be the box that has the check on the
Chills.
Eagles, I just don't want that to be underneath my face. So I'm going to go with the Patriots because they're looking good. They have momentum. My pick for Thursday night is the Pats over the Eagles. Let's get into a Saturday game.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to choose Washington, Miami. I love Miami. I love Mike McDaniels. I love that his little high pants and his sneakers are back.
He's the NFL's logic.
He is. And I'm really, really excited. I know that they lost a couple players.
Yeah.
That was really cool to watch in their Hard Knocks the previous year. But I'm going to go with the Dolphins over the Commanders. I haven't really seen or heard much out of that camp.
Yeah.
But I'll have my eye on it this week because I'll be watching that game. So my last pick for the Sunday night game, which I believe there will be a couple on, but I'm going to go with Green Bay and Denver. Big things happening at Green Bay. I can't help but kind of get on board with the momentum and Jordan Love. Maybe we'll get to see a little bit more of him. So I'm picking Green Bay out of that game. Let's hear your picks for next week.
All right. I will not be talking about Green Bay because I would rather shit in my hands and clap. So I'm going to go with my pick for the Philly Pats game. I'm going to go with the Birds on this one. I don't know. I want them to prove themselves. You know, this is the year without Jason Kelsey. We just had Nick Foles retiring.
Yeah.
So it's a whole thing for them. It's like, you know, they're going to have to prove themselves with what they've got. And I'm believing in Philly this week. So I think Philly's going to pull it off. I think it'll be close. I'm saying at least 3 on that one.
We'll see.
I am also next going to go with the SoFi Showdown. Anywhere else, if you have subways, they would call it a subway series.
Right.
New York versus New York,
Right.
Chicago. But we'll call this the SoFi Showdown. We have the Rams versus the Chargers.
Yeah.
I am not a fan of Jim Harbaugh at all. I think he is a whiny crybaby. And I'm going to give it to Sean McVay's team. I think the Rams are going to pull it off.
Yeah.
They had that squeak by upset, so I think they got a little juice in the tank.
He's pretty
so
pumped up.
I think the Rams are going to pull that one off. And my final pick is going to be New Orleans at San Francisco.
All right.
We have the NFC reigning champions and the Niners, right?
Yeah.
They're on a mission to go back to the big dance. So
Yeah.
I'm going with San Fran for this game. Let's throw it to Sage.
All right.
Sage, let us know, what games are you looking forward to this week?
So, I mean, there's gonna be no surprise to anybody that I'm always gonna pick the Philadelphia game. But particularly, first of all, Janae, you always break my heart.
It's okay. You know what?
Every day.
It's been ongoing.
The thing is I'm excited to see this game against New England. Last week's preseason game that aired, we won. It was a little rough at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Jake Elliott missing a kick killed me. But get it out now. Fuck it
Yeah.
out now.
Get it out.
Seriously.
Right?
Get it out.
Seriously.
My pick is going to be the Birds. I mean, there's momentum in there, and there's a lot of the players that we still have from last year, which is,
All right.
the big guys.
All right.
We've got Jalen still, who I adore. We've got AJ Brown.
Yeah.
I love that duo. We still have Milano. We still have a lot of guys.
Yeah.
But
That's true.
I'm excited about Trotter. I mean, how could I be from this? How
Right.
could I be a Philly fan and not be excited about that?
Yeah.
So I think that it'll be a fun game to watch. I do think it'll be close because they are getting to know each other a little more. It's not a veteran team that we've been dealing with for the last couple of years. I do want to say, fun little thing, I sent you guys the link if you want to look at it later. I love that the Boston fans are on the sidelines right now asking Big Dom for his autograph.
Oh, Big Dom. Well, I mean, I would probably ask Big Dom for an autograph.
How could you not? How could you not?
I would ask Big Dom for an autograph, too.
He's an icon, and
Yes.
don't ever ban him again, San Francisco.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm not even going to talk about that game.
Fair.
Understood.
I'm gonna go with the Florida pick. I'm gonna go. I should be paying more attention to the Bucks, but when Mike McDaniels is down the road for me,
I mean,
how
how
could
could
I?
you not?
How could I not?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I will. He'll be my pick probably every time in the preseason until I see how everybody else is going. I love Mike McDaniels as a human.
Yes.
He's a gift to us.
Agreed.
He's an American treasure.
Agreed.
And I also think the thing is that it's Commanders, bless their hearts, as the Southerners say, not great, not great. And you've got Miami. Do you know their trick? The Bucks do this too.
Is it the sun? Position of the sun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the away sideline
Baking.
is always in direct sunlight during
Baking.
games.
Yeah.
And
Good thing to know if you're ever buying tickets to go to see the Dolphins at the Hard Rock. Make
Behind
sure
the
that
home.
you look accordingly.
Yeah.
For Sunday night's game, what's your choice there?
I'm gonna go have to agree with you. I love the Packers right now against this
They got something going.
match.
I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Game. I always call it a match. I've been watching too much soccer. This matchup for the game. But yeah, I mean the Packers are fun, and I think that I just think it's a good. I think it's a good pick. It's just my gambler gut. If you're gonna put money on it,
You gotta go.
It's a
with
solid pick, and
Yeah.
everyone is entitled to their choice in this prediction package. It's all in good fun.
It is.
But we do have an NFL fantasy football league under Tastes Like Prohibition. We do have a couple of spots open if you want to play. Low stakes, but we like to have fun with it.
It'll be a good time.
No one is going to not enjoy their season because they're playing fantasy football, because that's what I absolutely hate about playing fantasy, is just blowing the whole season because I'm not doing well. It's not going to be like that.
No.
But send us a DM at Tastes Like Prohibition on Instagram if you want to jump in and be a part of our league. Before we get going, I think our draft day is coming up, which is going to be fun. And we have a whole lot more football to watch for the rest of the preseason. We are really excited about it. But I think that will wrap up this episode of Tastes Like Prohibition. Remember that we will be watching the Thursday night game live on Instagram, so you can join us for that and hear our commentary and our yelling at the TV screen. We will also cheers to more of the best, worst, and what the fuck moments of next week. And we will follow all the twists and turns of this year's NFL preseason and see what's in store for us once the season officially kicks off next month.
Yes, so make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow us on all the socials. We'll have them listed below so you can make sure you don't miss a single moment of the Taste Like Prohibition content. That's YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, and literally wherever the hell else you can find us. Thank you so much to our crew. Thank you, Sage, for joining us. Thank you to everybody for sharing the clips and sharing the show. We really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you all.
Yeah, and thank you so much to the fans. Of course, it's all about sports.
Yes.
So, here you are.
All right, cheers.
Cheers to sports.
Cheers to sports. See you next week.
Bye.